Does that help at all? Can you still not hear me? Okay, fix. Cool. God, that was annoying. That's so weird. I guess when I messed with the scenes, I messed with my mic a little bit. Thank the Lord. Okay, yeah, we got a new stream look. It's just a fun little thing from Streamlabs OBS. Thought it would match the Max look, right? Have some fun with it, you know? Hopefully everyone's having a good day. But yeah, like I was responding to you, Render. Sorry about that. I was saying that, yeah, the red Evos, we're going to talk about them. I was so happy, but also so annoyed when those got freaking revealed because I was like, man, that completely changes how I'd probably want to build Max now. So yeah, we're gonna build Max for fun. Obviously, we're gonna continue to build Max for fun because more cards are gonna get spoiled, things are gonna happen. But I figured I'd turn like my thoughts and instead of sitting here on the computer by myself for 5 hours doing Max builds, I might as well just chill with y'all and hang out, you know. Yeah, we have some definite spoilers to talk about. Also, let me know if the music is too loud for you all. I keep trying to mess with it the best I can. Okay. Did they put them in the... what is it? Evo Atom? Okay, so yeah, they did put them in. Okay. So yeah, we got this set of... equipment, which is pretty bonkers. There's a couple things that came out today that are really good. First off, we can talk about a couple different things really quick. These cards are super solid. What else? There was another one I thought that I liked. Okay, yeah, those are the base ones. On Fabric, you can only equip them. It goes in the deck. Yeah, no, they're going to have to update them on Talishar for sure. But the first ones I saw that were really good is Expedite. Expedite's really good for both Dash and Max both. Because if you're running like red Hyperdrivers in your deck, which I think Max is going to run red Hyperdrivers in the deck. Max might even run yellows after those Evo equipments were revealed. Expedite just allows you to put something into the arena really good. 0 for 3 go again. You Need This has subscribed. What's up, my friend? Yeah, we got the new alerts. That's dope. I'm guessing the Dash IO spoilers should be dropping in about an hour. So yeah, excited to see the art of that. Agreed. Emmental, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Oh, those new things look sick. Here, let me switch to live scene so y'all aren't just seeing my face. Yeah, no, these are dope. So this card's really good. What I'm finding in Max when I first so I've just been goldfishing on Talishar for fun, even though not all the cards are coded. You can kind of mess with manual mode to simulate what would be happening. What I'm noticing is 0 cost boost cards are so premium because it allows you with two drivers on the field to be able to play a 0 cost boost and then to get 2 resources, which allows you to do things like 0 cost max V without using heart. It allows you to activate max for free if you need to. There's so many play lines that open up. Yeah, the new stuff looks sick. I love it. So the 0 cost stuff like this, I think, is just an automatic in the deck. Like all 0 costs are going to be automatic now, I think. Even this one's not bad, but this one probably wouldn't go in Max. This is more for Dash, but the artwork on these is so sick. Like, this is cool, but the artwork on this one, God, I love that. Look at that. That's so dope. It's got like he's like carrying like something he's got to deliver, I guess. That's so cool. But yeah, no, let's go to this one. Yeah, so you have these 4 pieces of equipment, right? So like if we just do it, I guess I can make it easy. Let's do this. Open. Let's do it this way. I think it's the easiest. I keep hitting the freaking my headphone thing with my jacket. That's funny. Yeah, all of these are good, and I think like I don't know if Max runs all of them, but I think it Max runs a couple of them because I mean if we just go to like actually like a deck, they're probably in here already. We can just create a new deck really fast. When you talk about base level equipment for Max, are they in here on February? They're probably not. Is that what you meant, that they're not in that? Oh, they are. Okay, they're there. So there's a couple, like, let's just put them all in here really fast because I think Max can run especially these. Let's just do this real quick. Put this inside. Let's put this in main, this inside. And then let's put these. These will be in the deck, right? So they're 0 cost and they're instant speed equipment, which is really dope. I don't think you run 12 of them, obviously. But I think what's cool about Max is the only staple equipment he needs, in my opinion, is obviously Tekla Foundry Heart. Really, the only staple equipment he needs, period, is Tekla Foundry Heart. Like, Achilles Accelerator is really good. I think the med kit from today is kind of nuts. Yeah, the med kit's really dope, but awesome also. But yeah, he doesn't really have to run Achilles Accelerator. You can run these base legs. They do the same thing Achilles Accelerator does. And I actually think the base legs are going to be better because it's going to allow you to sideboard into the mech plan, but also not worry about having to pop your Achilles, right? Because if you're running Mechanoid, you can't pop Achilles. Because if you do, you can't use mech. So this gives you an Achilles Accelerator like ability, just costs 1 resource, and it doesn't pop. And Max is never going to be hurting on resources. So like, I think you already run these anyway, in my opinion. And then Heart's your next one. You're not going to get rid of Heart for base chest, so that one goes away. Achilles is free, but in Max, when you get 1 to 2 extra resources every single turn anyway, you're not going to care to pay the 1 for base legs. It's not going to matter, at least in my opinion. So we can't run the base chest because Tekla Foundry Heart is Tekla Foundry Heart. It's bonkers. The arm and the head don't really matter for Max as much. Like Crown of Providence is obviously really good, but other than like Crown of Providence, maybe you run Hyper X3, but Hyper X3 eats hyperdrivers, which sometimes might not be good. There's a couple ways you could take this. One, if you don't care about Moonshot and like gas up and being able to play cards, so like there's a couple of reasons that, and we talked about this before, that HyperX is a little wonky because you have cards like gas up, which then help facilitate Moonshot turns, right? Gas up says the next attack you boost its turn gets plus whatever, depends on the color. You may put a hyperdriver from your banish zone into the arena. So if you have Hyper X3 in your kit, then gas up doesn't work. You can't go and get those hyperdrivers because they're going straight into this. So if you want to run this headpiece, you basically have to not worry about Moonshot. Maybe you have a 1 or a 2 of, but you definitely don't run gas up. The draw mechanic is nice, Render. I agree with you. I think it depends on what you want to do, because if you're wanting to play like big Moonshot turns, if Moonshot matters to you, and if you want to play cards like Gas Up for the +4 add a hyperdriver, you can't run Gas Up, and you shouldn't, and you won't run a lot of Moonshots if you run this headpiece, because this headpiece nullifies what those cards are trying to do. The arms are the weird one because you don't really have to run Galvanic Bender. You can put that, or whatever it's called. Freaking, I always forget how to pronounce this word. Galvanic Bender, because this is mainly for the Mechanoid plan. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you could essentially run the arms and the legs of these. Maybe, I mean, let's just say you put in Hyper X, you don't have gas up, and you're not playing a Moonshot plan. And then, so you don't need the chests. What were we doing? Arms and legs. The thing is, the head's the second best one, in my opinion. If you have base arms equipped, you can play on a opponent turn in order to get prevent as an instant. Yeah, the instant equipment. I was saying that in the Discord, the purple Discord, is like the equipment's instant, which I think people are overlooking. Yeah, don't you want legendary helmet? When would you play the new Evo equipment since it only prevents damage same turn? Yeah, you can play it on both turns, Smoka. I definitely think the best one by far is this one, Evo Mock Breaker, because you can transform it, then equip it. If you do, the next time you'll be dealt damage this turn, prevent X twice that damage. So if you put if you transform this, putting 2 hyperdrivers underneath it, you would prevent 4 damage, right? Which is pretty good. And when you boost, you can destroy a card under this to create a quicken token. Essentially mean you don't have to boost again if you don't want, which helps you not be fatigued as quickly. Oh yeah, it's Smoko. It had to be instant, because if it's not instant, it's not this bad. It's just the instant really allows you to do things. The next best one, though, to be honest, was the headpiece. I like the headpiece. I just don't. If you're running Hyper X3, you're not gonna run the headpiece, right? Because, yeah. Wait, does gas up mechanologist instant equipment? That means heist is even better now. It's item. So wait, is there anything that says equipment that's not actually equipment? Equip a base equipment with proto in its name. Nope, that's not it. Put this under a permit you control. You could run fabricate now a lot easier. Let's see if anything goes and gets equipment. I don't think it does. I don't think any of this stuff goes and gets equipment. Which isn't that big of a deal, but it'd be a little nice, you know? Yeah, nothing goes and gets equipment. Yeah, nothing goes and gets equipment. So there's no way to recur these if you boost them away. So I was looking that up because it matters for how many you're going to have to run your deck. But yeah, I think, let's see, I like the arms, to be honest. Tech Levasum would still play them kind of fine, I guess, without instant. Fabricate has options to choose, which always is super good. Yeah, exactly. Because Fabricate reads what? Equip a base equipment with proto in its name from your inventory. That doesn't matter for this at all. Evo permits you control get +1. Block, which is actually pretty good. All these would block for 1 without breaking. Put it under a permanent you control, which then fuels this thing, right? And you may banish an Evo from your hand if you do draw a card. You're not going to ever want to banish these, but maybe you could do it for a cycle. I could see that surrender, but you can't replace Techo Foundry Heart. You just can't. You have to have that in the deck. What do you mean? What are you trying to ask, Mad Link? I'm sorry. Equipment does pay at costs, or you pay it also? What are you trying to ask, Mad Link? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the ones that are easiest to slot in are probably the legs and the arms, which would give you quicken tokens and +2 to your first boost, or whenever you boost, you may destroy an attack action. That's pretty nice. If you play Mechanoid, you could fabricate a new set of equipment in and have both equipment and Mechanoid. I think so, yeah. Yeah, it would work that way, Ray. Thing is, these are 0 cost, which is super nice. Because like my thought is your best play pattern, right, would be to Your best play pattern would be to arsenal one of these, since it's an instant, and then play it on your opponent's turn with like 2 hyperdrivers when it's basically like a defense reaction almost, right? Because if you have 2 hyperdrivers in play, you arsenal this at the end of your turn, they go to attack you, and then you instant speed this in, transforming 2 of your hyperdrivers into this, right? And you would prevent 4 damage. Yeah, that is the risk render for sure. That's the risk, right? And so at the end of the day, is it better? Is it good enough? Right? They're marvels, though. These are going to be marvels, guys. Oh, I want to see the other side of this thing. I want to see the other side. It's going to look so cool. These are also marvels, which means they're going to be a pretty freaking penny, man. Pretty freaking penny. Yeah, I think you don't really need this for fatigue. Maybe you run 2 of these in the sideboard for fatigue, but maybe not. Because like, if I were going to run these the way I want to run these, the way I'm initially thinking to run these, you'd run around the arms and the legs, right? They don't block for anything, so these are quite literally dead in hand if you don't get them. Yeah, the flavor versus the viability. I'm just trying to see how I would run these if I ran them. I think you run 2 of each, or maybe just run all 3. Because if you ran all 3, that's 6 slots. That's a lot. But you need to try to draw into this. You can't risk only running 3 and not drawing into it, or running 2 of each and not drawing into it. Because like my thought is, if you can get this out turn 1, this is now your Tekla Pounder, right? Like if this gets put in turn 1, you now have Tekla Pounder because you have potentially, right? You can fabricate and put stuff under it, and then you get 6 to 8 value over the course of the game. But the thing is, it's on demand. You don't have to use it immediately like you do a Tekla Pounder. You play out your first turn, you activate Max turn 1, create a driver, arsenal this, activate Max again on turn 2, instant speed this, boom, you have your Tekla Pounder. Well, the thing is, so I get what you're saying, Smoke, 100%. I think you can risk running the legs maybe, because having these legs versus Achilles Accelerator doesn't hurt you, right? They both do the exact same thing. Just this one doesn't cost anything and has AB1. This one costs 1, but it doesn't pop when you use it, which means you don't have to worry about not popping it. Like, of course, Achilles Accelerator in a nutshell is better, but the good thing about this is it doesn't pop. So you still get that ability when you're on mech plan. The thing is, the arms. Not this isn't the Tekla Pounder effect. This would be the Tekla Pounder effect. So you'd want to run the arms, right? Because getting a Quicken token, does that matter? Because you want to boost every turn. You know what I mean? Achilles can block T-bones, but to me that's a very, very minor thing, because as Max, right? Like, let's just say your normal thing looks like this. This has Battle Worn, it can't die. This has Battle Worn, it can't die. This has Battle Worn, it can't die. So like the fact that you can use Achilles, like, yes, you do save block value by not using up your Battle Worn, but it's not like Ninja where you could pop someone's mask, right? Like, if I take this out and put this in, and I have to block with one of these first, like, if I've already blocked with Galvanic Bender, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? So the fact that it can't block T-Bone with this kit specifically doesn't really matter. Unless you were running, like, Crown of Providence, then it might matter. Yeah, you still want to run it, Breezy, only because, and of course, this is with literally 5 games of gold fishing, so grain of salt. But I'd had a couple turns where I could play out Max V into Moonshot because of Tekla Foundry Heart. I basically had like 2 floating going into Max V, played Max V, popped boots, activated Tekla Foundry Heart, was able to gain 2 resources with like 1 extra floating I had, or I had 3 resources with Max V. Went down to 1, popped boots, gained 2 resources, and then played out Moonshot, right, for an additional 6. Which again isn't that big a deal, but there are I think there's gonna be a couple lines where you are gonna want Foundry Heart. Foundry Heart will also allow you to overextend your attacks and then possibly activate Max at the end of turn, which could also be really important. Like if you have 1 floating, activate Heart so you can activate Max. Yeah, Julio, I get what you're saying. The Purple Discord said the same thing to me about being able to block T-Bones, but unless this is Crown of Providence, I don't really care that I have to block T-Bones. Doesn't really bother me, but I totally get the point. More Data Doll than Max. Yeah, Data. People wanted Data Doll in this set, like a reprint. For sure. Okay, so I don't think we care about the Quicken, right? What I like about these is just they prevent damage, right? But maybe we try to get one of these because like the arms make the most sense, right? I feel like. We have Galvanic in the sideboard for the mech plan, and we run these. What these give you is they give you a once, like they give you a 1-time +1 until you can swap them, right? Which is already better than Bender because Bender gives you nothing if you're not running Mechanoid. It's a block 1. It's literally an Iron Rock Gauntlet. So I think that's okay. I think it's okay to run these 3. My original game plan render with my first deck was Moonshot, yes. Let me pull it up. Wrong one. It was this one, Ninja Goes Metal. So, yeah, wrong way. I want to make it bigger. My first game plan was definitely to chain Moonshots and Max Vs as much as humanly possible. So we're literally running 9, 18, 21... we're going to be running even more because we're going to put in the other 0 cost. 24 0 cost to be able to get 2 resources on 2 drivers as much as humanly possible. Let's do this. Bop, 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 bop. No. Bop. Bam, bam, bam. I wanted to put these in. So we got to take out 3. Gas Up's too good, man. So is Recharge. I don't want to get rid of any of those. Underloop's so good. Zipper Hit might be the next one to go. Yeah. Yeah. So this is like my game plan right now, is just to have so many 0 costs that help me be able to pay for Moonshots and Max Vs at the end of the turn. Because you play a 0 cost boost with 2 drivers on the field, gain 2 resources, and then you're able to chain 0 costs together and then end with a 9-power Moonshot or a 10-power Max V without having to activate Heart. Right. Yeah, I know. Zipper going away is like, that's terrible, man. I know. And Zipper could very well come back. Zipper Hit's really good for 1 for 5, but I like the 1 for 4 that can't be defended by equipment. Because like this off of Gas Up is so nice. Because it comes in at 1 for 7, can't be defended by equipment, right? And you normally, at least when I'm playing against Boost Dash, using my equipment on their tall attacks has been really helpful, and not being able to do that is really good. Also, MVPs in this deck just from gold fishing, Crankshaft and Big Bertha. Having 9 cards I can boost away that give me a counter back on my hyperdrivers is so nice. So nice. So yeah, if we're playing this, right, I don't think much changes, right? We're just looking to try to get this as quick as possible, right? Because if we're looking to do this, then we're looking to go crazy low to the ground, I feel like. Yeah, exactly. And then you have people like Levia and Chain and Blitz and, you know, that can't use their husk on that card. So if you buff that card to 7, they can't husk it, which is, you know, it's a minor bonus, but it's a bonus. New spoiler, new spoiler. What we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? Wait, you talking about grinding gears? I saw this one earlier, but I didn't bring it up in chat yet. Grinding gears is really cool. This enters the arena with Steam counter at the start of your turn. Destroy this unless you remove it. Action 0. Target hero destroys the top card of their deck. Man, that's so good. There's ways to add cards back to counter. There's a way to add counters back to cards, right? Actually, if I just search the word crank, I guarantee you it's add something with the word crank. I know it's going to be an attack. Yeah, put a Steam counter on an item you control with crank. So, like, you could potentially keep milling people if you play stuff like Scrap Harvester. This card's bonkers, too. For a whole turn, all your cards just get go again without having a boost. Well, all your attack action cards, sorry. This one's really cool, too. I think Scrap Harvester is going to be really good into the item dash plan. We have the mainline transfuser infused titanium. So Banksy does go into adding counters, Julio. The problem I'm having with Banksy, and I need to test it more, so like this isn't set in stone, because like if you notice I have Hanibi Blaster here because this card is bonkers in this deck. It turns on literally every 2 turns. The problem with Banksy is you're just adding the counter that you just took off most of the time. Like, yes, there are certain turns where you're going to crank from a driver in order to play another attack, and then maybe you Banksy. But, like, it seems really redundant to me to crank to then attack for 3 to try to put back the counter I just put. And yes, you are forcing interaction by forcing your opponent to block a 3 block in order to not let you have that counter back. But if you have any opponent that's good at trading, they're just going to block that, and then you just lost a counter. And if it's a yellow hyperdriver, that means it's gone next turn, which is really shitty. So if your opponent can say, like, oh, if I block this, I save 3 resources of value, or 3 life of value, and I basically kill one of his hyperdrivers next turn, you know? No, I'm on the same thing with you, man. Like, I'm not impressed with Banksy. I'm gonna have to see how that's really useful, because you have to crank to use Banksy, right? If you didn't have to crank to use Banksy, it'd be so good, right? Like if this said if you have boosted this turn, you know, then it'd be really good. But the fact that you have to crank, meaning you have to take a counter off to put a counter on, I guess the whole point of this card is to force interaction by making them block at the end of the chain, which could be good if you've already dealt 12 to 15 damage. People don't want to block anymore, but still, like, it feels bad. It feels bad. I also now know why they made this a max specialization, because if they made this for dash, it would be broken. So yeah, I don't think this deck is built a whole lot different. I do think it goes low to the ground, right? I also think being able to make hyperdrivers is probably going to be the best thing. Like, however you can make a hyperdriver is going to be really important. Like, being able to have 12-0 for 3 or better reds is so nice. Actually, 15, right? 15-0 for 3 reds. Because like I think that no matter what, I don't know if we have yellow T-Bone in the deck yet. I haven't figured that out yet. Could you run a Cheerios list? Probably not. Close to it though. What do I have in my other deck? Yeah. You could run a near probably 0 cost deck. Let's see how close we can get. No boost. Because, like, you could almost run a Cheerios. These just go under your whatchamacallit. Maybe you run a 2 of those. I don't know how good this stuff is, though. This be really funny to see how this plays just for the fun of it. You could run a near 0 list, which is pretty nutty. If you wanted to. Like, if you wanted to add the T-Bones in. I'm going way off the deep end here. I am not suggesting to do this. I'm just seeing, like, how close you could get it. 38 your cards are 0 costs. Well, if you ran Spring Rocket here, these are all boost cards. So if you use all boost cards and pumps, useful pumps, right? The new Evo does grab drivers. Does the token count? They disappear if you punt them under anything? No, they don't disappear. They changed the rules, Madlink. They have to change it, or otherwise Mechanoid would be almost impossible. Or not worth it. Yeah, they're gonna allow tokens to go under things, but yes, when they leave the game, leave the field, they're ephemeral to go away. Yeah, they don't disappear when it's under permanence. They just disappear when they leave the field, like from right now counters. Oh my gosh, we can actually get close to having a 0 cost Cheerios deck. That's actually hilarious. Like, would you just run this and then run Max V? Like, you just run all 0 cost in the Max V and then you just go for crazy. You would get fatigued out though. You don't have enough. You don't have enough break points. That would be funny though. Yeah. So looking at the original list, if we were gonna do like put those arms in there to try to get it in, it's so hard. I guess I would take out probably. Because you don't care as much about Moonshot. Or maybe Moonshot goes to a 2 of. Max V goes to a 2 of. Recharge stays. Sprocket Rocket stays. I like that card. Yeah, maybe we go to 12, 14 blues, and then do something like this. Bam, bam, bam. Go back up to 60. What's our cost curve look like? 38 reds, 8 yellows, 14 blues, 27, 0 cost. So we have in the deck total Yeah, we have a lot of low stuff. You're going to need maximum velocity render, in my opinion, because, so like I talked about this in my video I put out last night. I put out late just because I didn't want to spam people with videos in the same day. It's like you have to ask yourself, why do you run max over boost dash? So like the easy answer is access to resource ramp. Like technically it's not ramp because you're paying 2 to get 2, but it is ramp because you're going to be able to play lines you couldn't play before, right? Like in boost dash you can't go as consistently. You can't go a 0 cost into a 2 cost, like a combustible courier or whatever. You can do that in this build with two hybrid drivers. But then the other question is, how do you outvalue the +6 value that boost dash gets with Tekla Pounder to start the game, or at any point in the game? You have to outvalue that 6 points of value, and I think the way you do that is by Max V and Moonshot, right? Being able to play these chain enders and being able to string together 20 plus damage attacks like 2 to 3 times a game. I think that's how you out boost dash, right? In my 5 games of going through it, Smoka, without this new equipment thing, I hit a 9-power Moonshot 3 times in 5 games. I didn't hit a 12-power Moonshot, but I hit a 9-power Moonshot 3 times in 5 games. I also hit a Max V into a Moonshot twice. So it's pretty consistent. I did 3 games on boost dash with the new cards and was averaging 14 to 15 points of damage, and then I did 3 games on this and I was averaging about 15 to 16. So it was slightly better. The nice thing was the chain enders. Like this deck presents harder to block situations than boost dash does. It also can do more on 2-card hands, 3-card hands because of the resource ramp. Is the hero even good though? What's up, man? We won't know if the hero's good yet. The hero's gonna be fun though. That's for sure. Super fun. Yeah, he's cool. That's all that matters. He looks cooler. Like, who doesn't want to play this dude? You know what I mean? Yeah, well, Disruption will hurt this deck like every aggro deck, but Lexi's going to be gone. I don't think Lexi's going to... This deck, I feel like, could race Lexi or get close. If there's any way... I mean, you could decide in pummels. You could do a pummel plan against Lexi if you really wanted to. Spoiler alert, the hero's good. Yeah, I'm ready to be let down again as a Bolton fan. Oh, it feels bad. Yeah, I personally... would put Galvanic Bender. We remove this. I don't like Achilles Accelerator personally. Not that I don't like it. I don't think you need it. I think you can run both of these Cogworks. And then Goliath Gauntlet. So like this headpiece, man, is so so good, but also so annoying. So your main board equipment would be... Let's just remove this for now. Remove Goliath Gauntlet. This would be your main board equipment. Chest, arms, legs. Your head piece would normally be Crown of Providence. And then you would side in Visceratronic model and Galvanic Bender when you want to play Mechanoid. That's where I'm thinking here. He doesn't have a specialization yet, but I think that he might get one. But I could be wrong. We haven't seen any specializations, have we? I don't think so. But yeah, I think you can run this in the aggro plan to be able to side into this to possibly get your own Tekla Pounder. Drawing into this turn 1 is amazing because you make a driver, arsenal this card, make a driver turn 2, play this card, you have your Tekla Pounder. This is Lily Achilles Accelerator and doesn't pop, so we keep this in. That way we don't decide in something else or worry about popping it on our mech plan. This is main board for aggro, and then we swap into model for mech, and then Foundry Heart's Foundry Heart. Foundry Heart's never getting changed. And we also swap into this for mech. Rev Up I have in here just for Jeremiah poppers. Nothing more. I had 2 hyperdrivers and mechanoid into the mech plan, as well as high octane, so we can chain together multiple mech attacks. Cognition nodes is for Jeremiah. We have 1 random annoying slot. Oh yeah, it's true, Steven. You're right. We do have at least 1. Yeah, you could. That is true. That is true, Aiden. That is a good point. I didn't think about that. You could just have this in for mech. Because yeah, you're right. Because you're wanting to put hyper drivers under it anyway, right? Because it's just gonna feed in the mech. Well, so this is why, Aiden. This is why I had this conundrum, and this is why I love and I hate this card. So cards like Gas Up allow you to go get hyperdrivers and put them back onto the field if you boosted them away, right? So if you accidentally boost something away even while trying to build your mech, you could go get it and put it back on, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes, because I've found with the 5 games I've goldfished, 9 times out of 10 I have 2 hyperdrivers on the field most of the time. So 1 Gas Up will allow you to then go into mech, right? 1 Gas Up. But if you have this card, you can't, because Gas Up won't grab it. You have no way to recur those hyperdrivers you lost if you played this card. Which again, not too big of a deal. But you can grab them if you banish them from library. You can't, because this eats it automatically. HyperX, whenever you banish a hyperdriver from boosting, put it under this. So any hyperdriver that you put into banish from boost will immediately go under this, which means you have no way of getting them, which means you have to draw into at least 1 hyperdriver while also having 2 up in order to get Mechanoid out. Yeah, it's definitely not a must, Steven, for sure. It's something to weigh. It's something you have to test. Like, obviously, like, this is a testing thing. Like, just playing this and playing 5 hyperdrivers, maybe 6 at this point, can you get to 3 quickly enough, right, before your drivers die? Visor does feel bad, Aiden. I agree, but Kano is the thing, and and Runeblade's a thing, and I want to have at least 1 saving grace into that. This deck's going to be aggro balls to the wall anyway in those matchups, so it doesn't matter. But, I don't know. It's just the natural put some type of AB in your sideboard with me. Yeah, but in order to scrap, they got to be engraved render, so that means you've already played it, which you also can do, for sure. But that's a lot of hoops you're now jumping through, right? When you could just not play this headpiece and then use Gas Up to get the 3 drivers pretty quickly, right? It's something that's worth testing. I'm not like shutting it down. I'm just saying, like, the math don't math to me. Kano isn't a thing. Kano's gonna have some trouble. I feel like I could be wrong. Kano now has so much aggro he has to fight. And now I can put this in at instant speed and stop your... This is Lily Oasis. I can just put this in Arsenal whenever I want. And yes, you can respond to it, but... Like, if you play Ether Wildfire, I play this out Arsenal at instant speed, responding to your Ether Wildfire. And now your Ether Wildfire is dead, unless you respond to that with another damage spell, which you could, but that's really funny, actually. I can't wait to do that. Armada, I can't wait to Kano activates Ether Wildfire, and then I activate this in response from Arsenal with my 2 hyperdrivers, and I just nullify Ether Wildfire. Or part of Ether Wildfire. That would be very funny. So obviously not all of these cards are in tally yet. Let's see how many are not in. Oh, messed up. Let's do this. Yeah. What's not in here yet? A couple of these. Obviously the new equipment, and I think the 0 costs. Okay, let's do this then. So what the problem with Talos right now is it doesn't the tokens don't work unless he just updated it. Another spoiler's up. Ooh, another spoiler. Oh yeah, this is what y'all were talking about. Infused titanium. When it defends, you may destroy an item you control. If you do, it gets +2. So it's a 3 for 7 that possibly blocks 4. Not bad. So is that what shoot, what am I saying? Is that what Dash is gonna do? Just play really tall attacks that also allow you to block really well? How would Dash even work? I'm so new to Mechanologist. It's so much fun for me because I don't know what I'm doing. Not that I don't know what I'm doing. I have a good, decent understanding, but like the new Dash IO hasn't been put up yet, which really, really sucks. They need to reveal that hero because we can't use her. I mean, we can do this. You can do open. I think. Actually, here, we'll just do Classic Constructed and pretend that it's Dash IO. This is Dash IO. Let's say that. So, play Mechanologist item costs 0 or 1 from the top of your deck as over an instant. So what items do we play? Right. Items. Less than or less than. Yep, less than or equal to the cost of 1. Here's all the items we have. This item is so great. I said it on Twitter. I can't wait. I cannot wait against a person to. They're at 8 life, and I play like a 0 to 60 from hand with 1 resource floating. I boost it, or don't even boost it. Just play it, whatever. And they're like, okay, no blocks. And then the reaction step, I instant speed bin, boom, grenade, and deal 8 damage to him and kill them. I've said before about I love the design of legendary equipment. It's not being a must play all the time. Feels healthy. Yeah, I agree, Ray. They have done a fantastic job since Outsiders, pretty much, of making flavorful, fun, but useful legendary equipment. The last, it's not even broken, but the last above high rate legendary equipment was Crown of Providence. Since then, they've done a really good job. We're not. I don't think you're gonna get a Crown of Seeds or a Tunic or a like just broken ass stuff anymore. It's not gonna happen. Mask Momentum, right? Like it's just not gonna happen. That's a good point, Smoka. I don't know why they worded it that way. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. So if this is Dash IO, just pretend, y'all. Just pretend. I think Boom Grenade, obvious, right? Dissolving Shield, enters with 3 steam counters. Remove a steam counter. Prevent the next 1 damage that we dealt this turn. Has no. So this prevents 1 damage 3 times. That seems really freaking good at instant speed. Let's just see all the 0 costs first. Let's do this the easy way. Boom Grenade plus those attacks cannot be blocked by equipment. Exactly. And if maybe you even go in a little bit of Convection Amplifier, maybe you dominate. a 4 power or a 5 power attack, and then you activate Boom Grenade, or you play Boom Grenade from top of your deck. Obviously, that's a Merry Christmas Land line, but this card's so interesting. So it deals 2 damage to somebody. This is basically like a reckless swing for Mechanologist. BIOS upgrade. Shit's crazy. Let me look at something really fast, y'all. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Overload Crypt. Even Boom Grenade Blue is good. It just doesn't block. Yep, we're going to have to be careful with how many cards don't block in this deck. Absorption Dome seems pretty good. If you would be dealt damage, remove Absorption Dome in the arena with steam counters on it equal to the number of times you boosted this turn. So you like boost twice and then bring this in with for 1 resource. Maybe that's not as good as crazy. I think the script is really good. I'm just gonna put in. I'll just put in all of them first, and then I think this one's still. I think Yellow Boom Grenade's gonna be in. You're just gonna have to find ways to efficiently block. That's gonna be the problem. That one's not. I mean, that's just cognition nodes. This one's interesting, but I don't know if it's good enough. Right. That's a maybe. We can maybe for this. This one's funny. It's an action to gain 2 life. I feel like that's just draft chaff. Monocle's going in. That card's bonkers. You know, to be like, because like you get one of these on the field and you just like from Dash IO's ability has 5 steam counters on it. You're like, okay, remove a steam counter. Oh, that's I don't want to use that one. Remove steam counter. Oh, you can literally opt 5 in a turn. Powder Keg at a 1-of would be kind of cool, but it'd probably be a sideboard. Signal Jammer is going to be a sideboard for Runeblade. This one's interesting. When this area leaves the arena, activated abilities or target equipment can't be activated until the controller's next turn. This is a good sideboard against Kano. Yes, they can respond to it, but at least forces the thing. Instant. Put this on the bottom of the owner's deck. That's really good. And then Teklo Core. So, like, obviously we're not going to run 30 no blocks. I'm just putting stuff in for right now, so don't crucify me. Let's see. Yeah, I have 19 items, which is a lot. Yeah, that's going to be the hard thing is you're going to want to play items, but you're not going to know what you want to play. Yeah, mech cans can be rough, Smoka. They're definitely got to be flavorful. Yeah, Aiden, the zero cost dash build is going to be crazy. It's going to be fun to see like Max and Dash like go at each other as the aggro. Because I'm telling you right now, as a Ninja lover, Ninja does not hold a candle to either one of those decks from an aggro standpoint. Not even close. Not even going to be a discussion. Grind Gears or control playstyle. I agree, Matt. I just don't know if the support's there yet for that. Started the game with Dash and Blitz, and that's all I used to do with an E-Blaster. Yep. Gosh, you guys, it says so gas. No pun intended, but that's Aiden. Sorry, I had to do it. Yeah, no, Aiden, this is my favorite set, 100% from a from a thematic standpoint. All right, what we got here? This is his like Ward 4. It's basically a 2-cost Ward 4. Like, how good is that, you know? I mean, it is instant speed, which is pretty nice. So it's an instant speed 2-cost Ward 4. What do we think about this one? I should be asking Armada, the resident Kano player. You're used to looking at the top of your deck. I don't know if this is that worth it. Cognition for Jeremiah. Yeah, that's all we got at the moment. That's Dash's Oasis. It's in your sideboard. Oh, that makes sense. I could see that, yeah. So, what would be our main board ones? I think I wouldn't want more than 15 in my deck. I think Boom Grenade's a 3 of. Like, this is +4 damage at instant speed at any given point, right? Like, playing this, like, you pitch a blue to play a 3 for 7, that like 3 for 7 we just saw, and then off a Tunic, activate it, and then play this, so it's a 3 for 11. A 2-card 3 for 11, essentially, because it's off top of your deck. Right? 2-card 11 is essentially what it would be. That card's bonkers. That's a 3 of. I think this one's really good. Like, you essentially take off a breakpoint of every attack for 3 attacks in a row. Maybe you do this. These two go inside for when we need to be a little bit more gas related. This card is so cool, but I don't know if it makes the cut right now. Monocle goes down to a 2 of. I think this is a 3 of, and Teklo Core goes down to a 2 of. That puts us at 16. Rainbow Grenades, Overload Script, and Teklo Core. Where am I missing with Overload Script? What are y'all talking about with this card? What am I missing here? Where's Overload Script? What am I missing here? What y'all talking about? Or are you just talking about this? Rainbow Grenades, Overload Script, and Teklo Core. Yeah, we're building Day of Dash Max, just not with the Day of Dash artwork. Is the 1 cost for an additional 2 really that worth it, you think, Armada? I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to think. I don't like blues that don't block. It feels really bad late game. That has us at 19. I like having a 1 of Monocle in the deck. It's a combo with grenades. What's Overload Script? What am I missing here? Oh, are you saying... Oh, this card. Sorry. I couldn't find it. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but wouldn't you just run Convection Amplifier? Isn't that better? Like, isn't Amplifier just better? Because it's Dominate, not Overpower? And you can do it twice? Like, yeah, it doesn't have crank, so you can't give it a steam pounder back, but it does it twice. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, that's why you're saying it's better. Got it, gotcha. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I didn't read the whole text. Ah, I see what you're saying. Okay. I really like Dissolving Shield. Maybe that goes to a 2 of though. Does this dash care about Teclacore, you think? Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm feeling it. So what do we think about this? What do we cut? I'd like to be at 15. I really like Monocle. I feel like Monocle is such a driver to this deck. Like getting this out early is so great. That could be wrong. Or I guess if you're playing the aggro version, you just go this, right? Like that, maybe? This is the aggro plan? Would you then run... Yeah, then you run script. Overpower is good, Mad Link. It's not as good as Dominate, but it's still good. And if every attack has Overpower, then... Unless they have like 4 D reacts, 2 D reacts and 2 non-D reacts in hand, it's not going to matter. Yeah, I think Monocle is really important here. I might go up 1 more Monocle. And that puts me at 15 items. I think that's a good start. Right there. I think that's a good start. What do y'all think? Yeah. Not great, not terrible. Okay, where's the stuff with Crank? Because that's what we care about, right? No, I can see that, Aiden. But I think most mechs that aren't Teklevossen are going to be going for an aggro plan, which means because if you think about it, like my max V, like granted this is just an experimental build, only has all attack actions except for 3, 6, 9. That doesn't block though. 9. Oh, excuse me. Only 9 cards that get around Overpower. Pretty much. Well, it's 1 action card, right? Overpower. I always have to read Overpower. I always have to read Overpower. It always screws me up because I never use cards with Overpower in them. Yeah, but I want action cards. So yeah, no, it doesn't matter. As long as there's no D-reacts in hand, you're good. Plasma mainline. I mean, I wish Plasma mainline worked in freaking Max. True. You could spark this in. That's a huge spark target. And then this can just go. It's a good call, Aiden. It's a good call. See, this is why I have y'all. Y'all are better than me at this stuff. Like 10 times better. This is why I stream this. I would never think of this stuff. Right? Crank. So, do we go low to the ground with go again boost attacks, or do we go tall that allow us to just make it really shitty? Like, I think Scrap Harvester goes in the deck. You can put a Steam counter on something, right? It's a 3 for 6 that gives you a counter. Maybe not, though. It's a little bit below rate. I'm just going to put stuff in and then we'll cut it. I'll just put stuff in and then we'll cut it. 3 for 4 kind of sucks. I'm just going to put in to put in. It's not maybe not going to be ideal, but we're going to put in and put in. We'll come back to it. Nope. This one, no, hybrid driver doesn't matter for us. See, these cards are interesting because you're ideally probably never going to banish an item or equipment, or it's going to be very few. Well, this one's definitely going in. This one and the other one. The mech. This card's really nice. I just want to say something random. This card is so good for mech in general because now you can run a D-React in your main board and not worry about missing off boost. That's just the way I look at it. I think this card's really good. Heist because you're going to be able to go get one. Right? Thanks, Steven. I appreciate it. I'm glad that it's at least having, you know. It sucks we didn't get a spoiler this set. Still not sure why 100%, other than maybe they just, you know, wanted to give other people a shot. But it's really cool to see the content's helping people, even if just a little bit. It makes me really happy. Like, to be honest, like, all jokes aside. Because I never thought in a billion years I was going to have this happen. Anything that can't be defended by equipment, I think, is a must-have. Right? Pulse Wave Harpoons, that good. Zero to 60, always a good one. We'll just put in Zipper Hit for now. Underloop is so good. I know we're going way over the number, y'all. I'm just putting it in until, and then we put it down. Rev up inside. Well, it's just a worse payload, really. It's a shitty thing. It's just the artwork is so cool in that card. Did we put in Lay Waste Red? No, we didn't, did we? Go back and put that in really fast. HOJKL. Can't be defended by equipment. We want that. If we're going to go for this overpowered game plan, I feel like. What else we got here? Spark of Genius, obviously. It's definitely going to go in. Sprocket Rocket probably ends up going in. Well, we're on 5 right now. Let me go back. I think I missed Sprocket Rocket RS. Yeah, I did. Okay. Now we're at the blues. So blues are interesting to me. Does this deck need Spark just looking at it? You'd want Spark, I feel like, for this, Steven. For Plasma. To be able to put this out turn 1, potentially. Yeah, and just in general. But this, more than anything, Aiden pointed out, it's a good call. What do we run for blues, yo? I'm so lost on some of this stuff. I mean, what's blues in a typical dash deck, right? If I just go to my other dash deck that I made a while back. We have 0-60, Zipper Hit, Teklo Core, Teklo Pounder, Throttle, T-Bone, High Speed Impact, Magnetic Shockwave. Probably High Speed Impact's a big one, right? Being able to give something dominate would be really nice. I know we're going over here again. We're gonna dumb it down here in a second. 0-60 just is a 0 for 2 boost. T-Bone probably just to force out equipment block early, potentially. Zipper Hit. Throttle maybe 2 for 4. Go again. Let's back this up a little bit. All right, what do we think here? Payload plus bombs is nice for sure. Payload does not have go again, but it might not matter. Right, we're gonna end with it, I guess. So maybe Scrap Harvester just isn't worth it. Like, because it is a below rate 3 for 6. Maybe everything with Galvanize is not everything, but like maybe we run Galvanized Blues just for block value to be able to have better blocks, or do we just want to go into our aggro game plan the whole time? They probably haven't added quite all of the cards yet. Or if they have, let's go back into it. Maybe they've added them at this point. The people at Fabiary and Talishar, by the way, like, holy crap. The amount of work that these people do. They're literally not. They're not. Like, because like Infused Titanium at blue is definitely going to be in the deck, I think. Right? But these people aren't given enough credit. The stuff they do is just absolutely insane. Yeah, I gotta wait for them to upload a Fabiary Mad Link. Yeah, I could see that, but you need a way to finish games, I think, with this deck. So you have to find a way to finish games. Because... And like a hard to block attack combined with a boom grenade is how you're going to finish games, right? And if you keep giving the steam counters and just keep running into boom grenades, pretty nuts. I think it's a more aggro based list, but it's like a, how do I put this? I see it as like a it almost plays like Dory in the way of like, I'm throwing something at you, but it's not what you think it is, right? I'm throwing a 1 for 4 2 for 5 at you with 1 floating, and you may not block it, but if you don't block it, I'm a freaking shoot in a boom grenade. It's all of a sudden a 2 for 9 go again, right? And now you just got dealt way more damage than you thought you were gonna get dealt. I think you're trying to play off the combat tricks of boom grenade, which then begs the question, right? Kind of like you said, Aiden, is like, do we take out overload script? I'm just going to take it out initially, right? Do we take out overload script? Do we take out all the items except boom grenade and just run a really aggro dash list that is trying to get plasma mainline out as quickly as possible, and then keep putting counters on these boom grenades to keep them on the field, and then be able to, like, you know, just like chain stuff together? You have to destroy these though, so that means like if you have 2 of these on the field, they both destroy when something hits, which isn't bad. It's just basically telling the opponent, like, if you don't block this, you're gonna get dealt 8 more damage, 7 more damage, whatever the case may be. Well, you're gonna boost the, so you're saying you're gonna boost the grenade when it comes into play? So you'd play that prior to your boost then, right? Because you wouldn't have to boost it. You play this, crank it, attack. I love having this on the field with... Or do we make this like a control-ish deck with stuff like Dissolving Shield and Mini Force Field, and then just go for tall attacks with boom grenades? Yeah, then you just crank it, so your next attack your next attack essentially it just has go again. I see what you're saying. I'm gonna hurt myself for doing this, but it's fine. Spark of Genius will keep in. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm trying to think what would be the most fun thing to do here. Most fun thing. This only enters with 1 steam counter, right? But if you can put mainline on, keep mainline on this, then your attacks essentially for 5 turns would have overpower. Well, no, not for 5 turns, because it's when it enters, right? So, no. Yeah, you just keep... Or is it on that item? Okay, never mind. So you can't do it for 5 straight turns. That would be broken. Sorry, I'm reading a lot of these cards for the first time. So like Plasma Mainline does nothing to Boom Grenade other than keep it around for another turn if they keep blocking you out. Right? This is going to be mainly for items that only have one thing on them, but then tick down, right? So it's really good for items like Dissolving Shield, because it'll get 4 counters, not 3, and you'll get 4 times that it blocks 1 point of damage. Right? Or script will have, you'll have 2 turns of Go Again on all of your attacks. In this script, you'll have 2 turns of Overpower on all your attacks, right? So it basically doubles. Well, it depends, Steven. If you do this, and you have 3 of each of these, which are a little high right now, we'd have to make a cut. But essentially giving all your attacks Go Again for 2 straight turns. Like, I think, let's put it this way. I think step 1 is getting mainline out as fast as possible with Spark of Genius, or finding mainline, period, right? Like, this is almost like your induction chamber, or not. This is like your plasma purifier, right? For old Dash. You want to get this out to buff everything else up. And then once you get this out, all of these cards now last for 2 turns. Well, more than 2 turns. Because you put them out on your turn. If you put them out on your turn at instant speed, then for the rest of that turn they work. Then they'll get a counter from mainline, go up to 2 counters. Then at your start of your next turn, it'll go to 1 counter, you get another one. Then at the start of your next turn, it'll go to 0 counters, right? So for 2.5 turns, these will be in play, right? That's the way I understand it. I think it's good for control items, but really it's good for any item that says has 1 counter, right? Like, it's not good for Boom Grenade, because Boom Grenade, you know, is just going to pop the first time you hit anyway. But cards like these, it's perfect for. I think I do this. I love this card. Maybe this goes in the sideboard for the aggro matchups. I mean, so without mainline, they stay alive for... They come in with 1 counter. They stay alive for the rest of your turn. You take off a counter your next turn. They stay alive for that turn, and then they destroy. So essentially, without mainline, they stay alive for 1 whole turn. With mainline, they stay alive for 2 whole turns. Plus the half of the one you put it in. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, telling yourself that for 2 straight turns, all your attacks get Go Again, or all your attacks get... I could see that being good. I mean, I'm not saying it's a must right now. I don't know enough yet, but I think there's a world where you have script is always in because of overpower. Mainline is in to give script extra counters and even give stuff like Monocle extra counters. You have Boom Grenades in for combat trick, but you don't run too many of them because you don't want to draw into them. And then you run this for matchups where you want to go more tanky. You can run stuff like Dissolving Shield and Mini Force Field. And then ones where you need to race, you put in script. Maybe as a 2 of, right? Like this. Let's put those out for right now. And you can put in Teklo Core even at like a 1 of. I think that's where I'd want to go with this. This script is always in because it gives your attacks overpower. 6 Boom Grenades as a combat trick, almost like an attack reaction from the top of your deck. Monocle as a driver early on to help get to your items, whatever you want to run. And then Plasma Malign Line, you get that through Spark. Like, you don't want to touch this until you get to Spark. And then you spark this in, or you play it outright. That's fine too. Yeah, I'm not sure, Armada. We definitely, I mean, if you ever want to get in, once they code all these, God, I feel so bad for Monk and his team trying to code all this stuff. Yeah, I think I'm on this. Okay, so outside this, and then you just run a good aggro game plan, right? Or a good, like, hybrid dash game plan. Which means all the 0 to 60. Well, if we're gonna play stuff with overpower, then we need to play breakpoint attacks, right? I mean, 0 to 60 is going in because it's 0 to 60 and it's freaking goated. But then you're gonna want like good value attacks where overpower actually matters, right? Like any 1 for 4, I think is just like in. Let's just put all the 1 for 4s in first. Sprocket will still go in. How many blues are we on? We need more blues. More blues. As someone who's been playing a lot of Levia too over the past few months, I am so scared of no blocks in my deck. No blocks suck. So bad. Okay, hold up. I don't know if Combustible Courier makes it at the final, but I'm gonna put it in initially. High Speed Impact. Zipper Hit. Throttle. We're at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. How many blues I have? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I was at 18 blues in my other dash deck. What do y'all think? Like 18 blues? 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. Maybe 20 blues with T-Bones. It's not bad. So it's something to start with. On Outpace Rainbow? Oh, because it can't be defended by equipment. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, if you're running the Overload script game plan, you either run a couple tall attacks, but also attacks that can't be defended by equipment. Is there a world where you're on yellow, blue, boom to pay for early aggro turns and threaten late game damage? No, for sure. I'm definitely on yellow boom. I don't know about blue boom. Because the +2 doesn't... I mean, it is like a reckless swing-like effect, right? But I don't know how much it'd be worth it. New card. We have infused titanium, but I don't think they put into... Oh, no, they haven't put in yet. I don't think they put in yet. Oh, you did put it in so far. Yeah, that's funny. It just hasn't been uploaded yet. Oh, soup up. That's what you're talking about. If an item you control has been destroyed this turn, it gets go. This gets go again. It's a 0 for 4 when it defends. Ooh, it is a 2 block. Yeah. See, the only crappy part about soup up is like you basically had 2 items get destroyed just to have a 0 for 4 go again. You already have 0 for 60 that does that. Yes, it blocks for 4, but actually no, because you won't have 2 items destroyed in a row. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess this has good synergy with Boom Grenade. Soup Up. It has good synergy with Boom Grenade. I don't think he has this in yet. Oh, he does. What do we think? So if you destroyed any item that turn, it gets go again. If you destroy a Boom Grenade at instant speed, this gets go again at any point, but not on the same card because it's not going to be calculated before the damage step. Yeah, Soup Up is going to be nice for Max. Potentially. If you have a driver that died that turn, I'll have to test it. Well, it defends for 2 because if you destroy an item on their turn, you get +2 block to aggro Brothers in Arms. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it makes the cut on this. So we're on 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20 blues, which I think is pretty good. So we have room for 6 more good attacks. What are we missing from this deck that we would want? Expedite, obviously. Stupid. What do we think about the Evo equipment? Hold up. It's an equipment though, so it doesn't matter as much. Be really funny. I think that's more for Max. It was a funny thought for half a second. I think Heist is probably our next best one. You know, go get something that we accidentally boosted. Do we want high octane in this deck though? I'm assuming so. Do we care about high octane in this deck? We don't need that. I think this is really good in the ninjas. Oh shit. Well, I think the only weapon in this type of build would be pistol. I don't think you're going to be boosting 3 times a turn enough to play blaster. Right? This card's a meme. Teklo Leveler doesn't do anything, so I think it has to be pistol, right? Unless you're playing Talishar. Yeah, the Crown plus Opt is super nice, actually. I didn't think about that. Or a new dash weapon, whatever that may be. Yeah, I think this is a good start. Is there a world where we don't have Teklo Core? I'm gonna have stasis out for now. I don't think it's worth it enough. And then we're able to run some 6s in the side. Or just the new one might even be better. It's funny how it's screwing up. Yeah, I think that's a decent enough. Evo Thruster plus Talishar. Go out the building, figure this is going to be more of a max build since the new dash is being sprinkled out. Yeah, no worries, smoke it. Yeah, no, Max is in a good spot, I think. I'm definitely going to mess with him more. The face breaker definitely, I think, puts him in a cool spot to be able to have his own Tekla pounder. I'm pretty happy with like where this build is to start, unless we get something here in the 9th inning, which we might. But I think it's in a pretty good spot, to be honest with you. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 blues. You know. Maybe we remove one gas up so we can get more and more max V in. We're really playing with like random ratios here, but I'm super happy with where it's at, to be honest. I would put payload on the main deck just to increase the bomb chance to connect. That boom chance to connect. No, I could see that. I need to see. The thing is like the thing about boom is if you put mainline in, if they keep blocking it out, then you just put another counter on mainline that stays around for 2 turns. Like, you're gonna fatigue them just the same. I think that deck has enough breakpoints, but I could see it for sure. I'm really excited about this deck. Like, this deck is super fun for me because even just Talishar. Let's see what cards are not in yet. Probably the, whatchamacallit, yeah, these 3. We're at 54. Let's just put high octane in. Yeah, let's do this. I'll show y'all. We'll take out the ones I know aren't in. We'll take out Evo Breaker. Actually, let's put this back in. I'll make another version of it real fast, and I'll show y'all some of the lines I was talking about. Expedite. Okay, now we can take these out. Now I don't have to worry about messing up my previous build. What did I have in here before? I actually think running like a 1-up Fabricate might not be bad in those, but I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and put Heist back in. What was the other one I had in? I think it was Jumpstart. Let's put Jumpstart in. Just show like a generic, because the lines are going to look the same. I'm going to have to go to manual mode to show you all this. Because like the hyperdrivers don't work. So we're going to have to play pretend on some of this stuff. But you can, even regardless, you can get an idea of how it's going to look. We have no legs right now. Boo, hold up. We gotta put Achilles Accelerator in. Because these aren't in yet. We'll just put Bender in and Accelerator in first. Oh, Achilles. Okay. Yeah, no shade at all. Just saying I'm coping with Banksy being a main board. Yeah, I don't have Banksy in the main board. No, I agree. The round table, I got one kit coming. Wait, no, I don't want to play an actual person. I ain't doing that crap. Oh no, you're good, Smoke It. Spend time with the kid. You're good. I appreciate you. Wait, why is it doing this? Why do you hate me? Copy deck link to clipboard. Bam, bam. Let's see if it works for once. Okay, sweet. We're good on the 60. All right. So yeah. So turn one. So the goal is obviously get a hyperdriver out first. Pitching away both of these is good because we can boost them later to gain counters back. The Bertha's probably going to be... We want to keep the underloop for next turn. We do want to boost here. That goes, and then we max. Make this driver. I don't think these steam counters go down, but we'll see what happens. Unless he's fixed them since last time I played. Okay, so we have one with 2 steam counters. We drew the 2 hyperdrivers, which is really freaking funny. See, this is a time where if I'm not running mech, I'm just gonna pop boots to be able to put one of these out. So doing something like this, we boost. So this should go down to 1 and it's not. That's the crappy part about this right now. And it's not giving me resources. So earlier when I was messing with this, I had to go into manual mode. So this would go up to 3 because you'd get the +1 from the boost. This goes down to 1 counter. Right? You boost this. They want to block it, otherwise it's going to go back to the bottom of my deck. It did because they didn't block, obviously. Pop boots. Be able to play a hyperdriver out. Don't crank it. Still have an action point. Play out another hyperdriver. Do we want to crank this? Yes. Play max. Bam. We now have 4 hyperdrivers on the field going into turn 3. So we're going to get +4 resources right now. This would be at 1 though, so this would die. The first time we boost. Here's where I had to play pretend again. Because what it's not going to do is it's not going to give me these two resources for this. Actually, it might do this though. So playing a 0 for 60, boosting, it's going to give me the 2 resources from that. Which then allows me to play like a heist for free. I'd still technically have 2 floating here. Which would then allow me to play, you know, here's where we got to go into manual mode for a second. So you can just start to see like what this deck can do. Obviously, I'm having to jerry-rig it to show you. Normally, I'd have 2 resources flowing right here. So I'd play this for free. We'd boost it. It would go down to 0, 5, right? It's like you're able to, I mean, I was able to just play a 4 into a, you know, a 9. Did I even have a hyperdriver in there? No. Into another 5, so 14 damage turn. And I could have even not. Then I can activate Heart here. Pitching, go up to 2, max. Bring in another hyperdriver. So you can see how you can stay on 3 to 4 hyperdrivers pretty easily. And I haven't even ran into one of my power cards yet. leading with a zero cost is the most key thing. Obviously, these aren't going down, so it's hard to 100% judge it. But you would get anywhere from 1 to 2 resources every turn when you lead with a zero cost, right? Which then allows you to do stuff like this. Pulse Wave. Well, you play Underloop first. And Underloop for free. And then you can activate Max here. Crank it. Well, let's undo. It's not going to let me crank. Let's add an action point. Simulating the crank. Hanabi Blaster. Right, Hanabi Blaster. Right, you're just able to consistently do like 15 plus damage. Yes, you're milling yourself pretty well. All right, here's a max V turn. Let's see if we can even do anything with this. So we'd have 1 to 2. We'd have 2 hyperdrivers in play technically here. This is the weird thing. Because this would cost 1. Essentially. Boosting, which would then give you 2 resources. See, that's where it can get a little wonky. It would give you 2 resources. You'd activate Max here, arsenal your Max V. And then your goal here is to spring together enough. See, maybe you don't play the Moonshot here. Or you do. There's just some fun stuff you can do with this. So that would give you technically a resource. You can play Recharge, put a counter back. This is the weird part. Yeah, so you can see how it can work. It's definitely super janky right now. But even though those counters weren't going down, even if they were going down, you're always going to have 1 to 2 resources every single turn. And starting with a zero cost allows you to then just chain together stupid stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to chain together. So, nothing too crazy. But yeah, somewhat quick stream, only like an hour and a half, y'all. Just wanted to get on and talk some of the new cards and have some fun. I'm going to keep trying to do short streams like this. I'm never going to stream like 3-4 hours unless we're doing like hardcore, like all day testing or something. But I definitely want to try to do more like 1 to 2 hour streams, 2-ish hour streams for y'all. Hour and a half, 2 hours. Consistently. Just to get in and talk and say hi and, you know, chat for a bit. But yeah. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hopefully you like the new look. You can heart to fish for drivers heist out. Oh, it's true. It's true. But yeah, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. I'm gonna go get some food, hang out for a little bit, and then, you know, see y'all again next time. I'm gonna be doing more videos this week, so probably a video every single day. It'll be fun. But appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. See you next time.